All right, welcome to another episode of The American Dream, the only show that combats negative media, not owned by a network, commercial-free, no scripts or teleprompters. What you're going to see on today's show are national interviews with really inspirational guests. You're going to absolutely love them, but also in each city, we tailor advice to your own local marketplace so that you know how you can accomplish your American dream. That being said, let's start our show right now. Every single day, you are consumed with information. With a 24/7 negative news cycle and a pop culture that's polluting the airwaves, all selling out for the ratings game. Well, guess what? There's a more positive way to look at life. You live in the greatest city in the greatest country on the planet. Every day with our elite network of professionals, our goal is to educate, empower, and engage. And now it's time to fight for your American dream.
Well, this week we're focusing in on helping our viewers achieve financial literacy. We've interviewed everybody from change makers to experts to learn how to be more financially responsible, whether that's dealing with your credit or running a business. We want you to be not just financially literate, we want you to be an expert.
All right, welcome back to the show. This guy is a repeat offender on the American Dream, been coming on for as long as we've been on, since 2014, right?
Since
You're one of the originals.
Young and beautiful.
Let's talk about, I'm going to start with cryptocurrency because it's a hot topic. What are your thoughts on it?
You know, I was just telling you before on Facebook Live that they have courses now in Berkeley that they teach cryptocurrency. There's a waiting list for the courses. I just read about that. And they really teach you everything you need to know, how it's being done, how it's being mined.
Who's teaching it?
There's a committee and a couple of cybersecurity experts and a cryptocurrency expert, and I heard her speak. She's very knowledgeable.
I'd love to join a class like that.
Join a waiting list.
I wasn't that great in college, but I also didn't have courses that interesting.
Yeah. I think the waiting list is like 6 months.
Bitcoin.
Yeah. So they teach you about Bitcoin. They teach you about all the other. There are over 100 and over 1,200 different cryptocurrencies. Right?
Yeah, people don't realize that.
No, and they really teach you about what it is, how it is being mined. Obviously all those guys that go are all engineers, and really, I'm telling you, there's a 6-month waiting list, and a lot of them are very high IQ'd people that get into the class, and it all, teach you how the algorithm work, and it's very intense.
Let's keep today's conversation real. So this morning, Facebook is in deep, over this whole 50 million.
Facebook data. If your Facebook personality has been hacked, it'll cost me between $5 and $6 to buy your data, your Facebook on the dark web.
My Facebook account did get hacked last year by a troll.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's hijacked the account. We had to go up the ladder at Facebook, private investigators. I mean, we were pretty serious.
So imagine how much it costs you. So I pay for it on the dark web between $5 and $6. Compare that to PayPal. If your PayPal account has been hacked, it's worth about $250 on the dark web. Now, if I bought your information from the Equifax breach, now we're talking about a few grand, because now you're talking about your entire life.
But what are they doing with it? Are they taking the information and using it to, I don't know, sell? Or is it, no, I'm stealing your identity so I can go create cards and use your identity to buy stuff? I would imagine if you're spending $2,000, $3,000 in the dark web, it's so that you can steal.
Absolutely.
So you're not just, like a Facebook troll is brand deterioration. It's some tool that's sitting in his parents' basement. That's what we experience. That's very different than stealing an identity and creating credit cards and spending money and stealing.
That's right. So when it comes to Facebook data, they would steal from you because you're a successful man. Now what they'll do, they'll create another synthetic identity based on the information they have from you for Facebook, try to get into other people's that you associate with, build another Craig Sewing, and you have the pictures with your dog, with everything.
Yeah,
and
blackmail.
And not only that, but they'll use things from your Facebook to get into your bank accounts. Because, for example, on your bank account, there's a question, my favorite dog, is a security question. Now they know your Facebook page, and now they know the name of your dog, and now they got that.
Yeah.
So, so it's really sophisticated. It's not just
I got to wrap up here. For those of you tuning in on Facebook Live, we'll go a little bit longer. But for the show that you're watching at home, we got to wrap it up real quick in 20 seconds. What is one piece of advice you would give to people to protect themselves?
check your credit on a regular basis. If you can do it, first of all, for sure, get it for free. Annualcreditreport.com, it's for free.
Okay.
Annual Credit Report, it's for free. Go check it, see what's there. You never know.
Let me do this. For those of you watching on cable across the country, if you want to email me directly and you have questions about your credit, you want to get a free credit report, or if you have a score below 800 and you want to get your scores up, Ron can help you. He'll chat with you. Email me directly, craig@craigsewing.com. Email me if you're watching on Facebook Live. Send me a direct message. I'll be happy to make that connection.
And we've gotten tons of those.
Yeah, it's great. A lot of people have been reaching out. I connect them to you. You give them some free advice, and maybe you help them above and beyond that if they need it. But Aran Sinai, credit expert, thank you so much for coming on the American Dream.
Thank you for having me.
All right, more of the show coming up next.
Are you interested in real estate, business, entrepreneurship, or finance? Then check us out online and be sure to follow us on social media.
One of our favorite guests on the American Dream joins us from time to time. It's tough to get you out of the private sector and into this studio. You're helping businesses grow. The Stash, Ed Jenks. Good to have you on the show, man.
Hey, good to see you, Craig. How are you?
I'm good. What's the latest and greatest with you? Last time we were on, we were talking about your book.
Yeah.
A lot of good stuff happening there, but bring us up to speed.
Well, you know, there's something that I think your audience would find interesting that I've been seeing that's more historical in nature for business. It used to be that when you started a business, you went out and you built the team from the top down. Okay. So you went out, you got a great project manager, you got a great senior executive, maybe someone with experience who had done it before, and you let them build out the team.
Okay.
That's changing. And there's a very distinct reason it's changing. In the 1990s, we talked about what was going to happen when you had all this data collected and you didn't need all the management worker bees.
Sure.
And we're starting to see that happen now where lower level supervisors can watch supply chain, production, inventory, and sales all from one place.
Gotcha. So technological advances have created a disruption and a shift in how it works.
Right. So what's happening now when the administration has put in, the tax breaks and they're putting people back to work, there's a lot more people, if you believe the stats, a lot more people working than ever before.
Yep.
What's working is, and it's a great thing to see, is skilled labor, hourly labor, line supervisors, those kind of people are finding jobs, but there's a challenge. And the challenge is that the senior management people, in say the 100,000 to 200,000 wage bracket, we're not seeing those people going back to work right now.
What you're describing are things that would maybe make employment less important, right? More technological advancements, computers, technology,
right.
Numbers, data. So what do you think what kind of impact do you think this is going to have on society as we move in that direction? Less people employed? Is there going to be a gap between upper class and lower class, the loss of the middle class? What do you think happens?
I think that the upper middle side will be most affected by this, but I think that you're going to...
Upper middle side, okay.
Yeah, the upper middle class of worker I'm talking about, not sociologically. I think you're going to see a reduction in the need for higher level management than we have in the past, simply because at a lower level, we can manage from supply chain to customer.
God, we were talking about this earlier with the real estate market and some of the disruption happening there.
Right.
There's businesses that are coming out that are on the cloud and essentially eliminating the broker.
Right.
I mean, so you're seeing that in different sectors, and we were just talking about it earlier in the show.
Yeah.
So where do you think we'll be in a year from now, Ed?
I think you will see that part of the market come back a little bit, but I think you're going to see people rethinking MBA programs, programs that push you into that upper end of management right out of school. I think you might see some rethinking of that, and I also think you're going to see great opportunities for technically skilled labor coming into the marketplace in all facets.
Before I let you go, we have to do our ritual here, the Stash Bash.
Yes. Okay, we absolutely can't let Facebook off the hook. You know, we had breaking news last time you and I were together.
Yep.
When I predicted, using LinkedIn as my model at that point in time, that the information on LinkedIn is not sacrosanct, it's not vetted, it's wide open information. You interpret it as you will, but I actually saw people in business making decisions about hiring decisions looking at a LinkedIn profile. I said, no, you and I talked about that. Now Facebook's coming to the forefront. And I think what happened, what Zuckerberg did, is he found some beans and he threw them in the ground, and things started to grow.
Yep.
And I don't know that the experience matches up with where this company's going and the unintentional consequences that are happening as a result. But I would give Zuckerberg, if I was coaching him, I'd give him one piece of advice. There's a great deal of difference between well said and well done. And an apology might be kind of conciliatory at this point, but well done, what they do or what he does as a result of that is going to dictate ultimately his
There's
level
a
of
difference
success.
between well said and well done. The Stash Bash. Ed Jenks, good to have you on the show.
Great
always.
to see you, Craig. It's always good to be here.
More of the American Dream coming up next.
Are you interested in real estate, business, entrepreneurship, or finance? Then check us out online and be sure to follow us on social media.
Well, as you know, the American Dream is a national program where we focus on business, the entrepreneurial spirit, overcoming adversity, finance, the market, all things that are relevant to empowering your American dream. But a big topic of conversation on this show is housing. So what we do is we integrate local, top-producing, award-winning realtors to cover a wide range of topics on that subject, different micro markets, different niche subject matter. Housing is such a big topic, so we're going to bring you a lot of information right now from some of the best in your market. Let's check out these interviews.
Joining us next from Dallas, Texas, is a top-producing realtor from the Pantuso Properties with Keller Williams Realty. Please welcome to the program, Barbara Pantuso. Barbara, thank you so much for joining us today on The American Dream. So great to have you again.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So I wanted to ask you, what kind of questions are you getting from customers that are considering selling their homes?
Well, we get a lot of questions, of course, every day, but the one that I hear most often is someone will call in and they will say, I've been thinking about selling my home. I'm not really quite sure when. And they really want to know, is it too early to be reaching out to us? And actually, it's not. In fact, we like when they call us as early as possible because it helps us to maybe, if they're thinking about doing updates to the home, that they do the proper updates to the home. So many times, a client may decide to paint the interior, but if they're not painting it with what the new colors are today, it can actually be a mistake. So really getting them in to call us early is very beneficial, both for them and for us. We also get questions like, well, we're thinking about putting in a pool. Do you think that will help us in our resale value? So this is where a realtor actually can help guide them through the whole process and make sure that they don't make any mistakes. So when they are ready to sell, they can actually get true top dollar for their home.
Yeah, it sounds like by contacting you as early as possible, you could potentially be saving them a lot of time and money by doing the proper, either renovations or acquiring something new for that house for its resale value. So I love that. Thanks for that insight, Barbara. Well, Barbara, we hear a lot that spring and summertime is a really good ideal time to put your house on the market to sell. Do you think that that's really the case?
No, actually, every month of the year is a good month. It actually just depends on the client and what is a good time for them so that they're not so stressed. A lot of people think, oh, I have to hurry up and get my house ready to get it on the market in the spring or the summer when the majority of buyers are out there. But actually, there's more competition during that time. So sometimes a more ideal time might even be during the fall or the winter. That's during the holidays, you have your home decorated, you've got candles going with the nice warm scent smells. It's just more of a cozier time as well.
Sure.
To highlight your home.
I can imagine too, like Christmas time has got to be really nice to maybe have some fresh cookies in the oven to get that, smell and aroma in the house. Like you said, candles, little bit of decorations, a warm fire. I know that Texas gets really hot in the summer, so maybe putting cookies in the oven in July might not be ideal to get that same kind of aroma. So I really like the fact that if people feel that they're going to miss out on this window of spring or summer, they should still contact you, because those aren't the only months to showcase your home. Like you said, you've got the fall and the winter time as well.
Correct. I just think that having people not be so stressed that they have to do it during a certain time of year, well, it has to fit into their family and why they're moving. So again, I think they should really not stress over trying to put it on during a certain time of the year. There are advantages, there's pros and cons to all of the different seasons.
All right, and I think one of the biggest takeaways from our interview today is that it is never too early to contact you to get that ball rolling. So I think if anybody in the Dallas area is interested in selling your home, definitely contact Barbara. And don't worry if you're going to miss out on this spring or summer window. She's got plenty of ideas for you for the rest of the year. So Barbara, thank you so much for joining us today on The American Dream and sharing your insight with us.
Thank you.
And stick around, you're watching The American Dream. We'll be right back. Join our fight against the negative media. Engage in the conversation online. Next on the show from Dallas, Texas, we have Denton Aguam, who is the owner and founder of the Denton Real Estate Network with Keller Williams. And not to mention that his team is part of the top 100 teams in the entire state of Texas. Denton, welcome back to The American Dream.
Thank you, Sarah. It's great to be here.
So now that we are in the midst of spring, homes are coming onto the market in Dallas. What are some of the best strategies for a homeowner?
Yeah, and you need to prepare that home to sell. And it's a simple staging technique. And there's a couple things you can do. Some simple ones is landscaping. So go to your front yard, and if there's any bare spots, grass, put some grass pallets over that. Get some color. Go get some petunias from your local gardening place and put it up front. Trim those bushes back. And then throw some mulch in your beds as well. The most important thing is don't forget that your first impression with a buyer is as soon as they pull up. So you really want to set that mood correctly.
Okay, so why is staging so important? Obviously, you want to have that first impression from somebody pulling up, that curb appeal, but why is it really so important for a homeowner to have the staging in their house?
Yeah, staging is very important. And landscaping is one. There's a couple other techniques as well. But at the end of the day, buying a home is a very emotional process. And what you want to do, setting that stage right with the landscaping, is create a positive vibe. As soon as they walk in, they want to see themselves in the home. And if there's too much going on or the landscaping isn't what they want, they already start thinking negatively about the home. And so you got to really set that straight. The other thing, too, is statistically, or studies have shown in 2017, the National Association of Realtors did a study, and over 77% of buyers said that staged home made it much easier decision on which home they're going to buy. And then the sellers, get this number, over 50% got 1 to 20% more on their home price because the home was staged.
Wow. Okay, so a lot more important than maybe just the regular person would think about. And like you said, the staging is so important because it really sets the tone so people can continue to think positively about that experience. Would you say there's other things that are commonly overlooked?
Yeah, absolutely. So decluttering is another big one. With our clients, we really focus on them getting a storage unit or a mobile storage unit, and we really have to thin out everything, the house, the kitchen, even your furniture. I've always said, you're no longer living in this home, you're now showing it, because the way you live in a home is totally different than the way you show a home. And that's really, we had to change that mindset of the seller. And when we show them those statistics of how much more they can get for their home, they definitely are all in on changing it.
Yeah.
The other thing too, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, just with that, like you said, that statistic, how much more money they would get because of that, it just seems like a no-brainer.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we have a simple document. It's called 24 Things to Prepare Your Home to Sell. Obviously, I can't go over all 24 of them today. If people want to email me at help@darexp, that's DAREXP.com. We'll email them that document to anybody so they can start preparing their home to sell.
Oh, that's great. And I know that you have a new listing, and I imagine all your staging expertise went into this house as well. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. It's 3201 Guilford Lane in McKinney, Texas. Now, that is a great suburb of Dallas, a great school district. This home sits on a 3rd-acre lot. It is offered at $499. It's a 5-bedroom, 4-bath, about 4,400 square feet. It's beautiful. The best thing about this house that I like is it has these beautiful vaulted ceilings with this wrought iron banister staircase looking over the family area, and it's a really nice area to spend time with your family.
Oh, it sounds beautiful. Well, Denton, thank you so much for coming on to the American Dream and always giving your insight. Really nice tidbits to share with our viewers today, so thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sarah.
And stick around, you're watching the American Dream. We'll be right back. Our next guest comes from Dallas, Texas. She has been named one of the top 100 most influential agents in all of North Texas. Miss Jessica Hargis, the owner, broker, realtor of Jessica Hargis Realty. And she brings a special guest with her today onto the show, David Sweet, who is the Rockwall County Judge and former mayor of the city of Rockwall. Welcome, Jessica and David, to the American Dream. So great to have you both.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
So I actually want to start with you, David. I'm understanding that the county of Rockwall is one of the fastest growing counties in Texas. Can you describe a little bit about why and what that is?
It's a really neat place to live, and I touch on the fact that it's one of the fastest growing counties in the state of Texas, and that's absolutely true. But Rockwall County is also one of the fastest growing counties in the United States, and what kind of separates us as far as our growth is concerned from other places that are enjoying that substantial level of growth is that we're growing in every segment of our population. Each one of our cities are going through growth. It's been that way for about 10 years. It's going to continue for a long, long time. You ask why? I think it's a big thing. Quality of life is a huge, huge part of that. There's a place for everyone in Rockwall County. And the cities do a really, really good job of taking advantage of that, if you will. And have, we're a lakefront community, and each one of the cities take advantage of that and do a really, really good job of speaking to or providing programs that emphasize quality of life throughout our entire county.
All right. And then, Jessica, you obviously have a lot of experience with the county and city of Rockwall. Can you talk a little bit about that quality of life and why maybe a young family or just anybody might want to live there?
Well, I always say that we are completely spoiled because there is everything in Rockwall. I mean, shopping, entertainment, dining, tons of restaurants. I pretty much tell my family, if I cannot get it in Rockwall, then we just don't need it. So that's one big attraction. Of course, we have the lake and then everything to do. But really, you can get anywhere in Rockwall County within 10, 15 minutes. And really, you don't have to go anywhere else. So what's nice about Rockwall County, though, we have some outlying areas that are still eligible for a USDA loan. It's still an area that you can be a first-time home buyer. Even some areas you can get in at 0% down. Yes, 0% down. And really live the American dream. You have a home. You're in an area with great schools, excellent schools, and then you've got everything to do that we don't even cross the bridge much.
Well, I know you saw my eyes probably go really wide at the thought of a 0% down. So I feel like the county of Rockwall is really a place that is accepting you can live your American dream. But considering that it is growing so fast, would you say the time to get in to live in Rockwall is now?
Absolutely, I would, because we are growing fast, and that means that it's very desirable. Prices are increasing. We all know that interest rates are climbing a little bit. And so it's really a great time to start your home search. Right on the outskirts of Rockwall, it's kind of like every other highway. It's growing up the highway. So in the Fate area, half of it is still Rockwall ISD, but you can get in at 0% down and get a big bang for your buck. Another area that you can get in for 0% down in Rockwall County is Royce City. And they are growing. They've got several different things coming to the town. They've got grocery stores. There's restaurants. And again, it's 10 miles from the lake. It's 10 miles from all the shopping and everything in Rockwall. So now is the time. And we would love to help you look at Rockwall County.
And, you know, one of the things that piggyback on the comments that you just made when you reference the city of Royce City. We brag, and rightfully so, a lot about the Rockwall Independent School District. The Royce City Independent School District is also an outstanding school district there. Our county is served by 2 school districts, and both of them, we're very, very proud of both of those school districts, as they're both true, huge assets for our county.
Right. Well, you know, it sounds really exciting. It's an exciting time happening there in the Dallas area, in Rockwall County specifically. So I think if anybody that is considering moving to that area, definitely contact Jessica. She seems like she's got a lot of really good tidbits and a lot of good advice to get you in. Those 0% down is definitely really enticing. And I love that you say you can get everything within 10 minutes. If you can't, you don't need it. And you've got a lake right there. So for me, I'm sold. Thank you so much, Jessica, for coming on, and thank you for bringing David. Really nice insight, both of you.
Thank you.
And you're watching The American Dream. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
You just heard from award-winning realtors about your marketplace. It's one thing to find your dream home. It's another thing to finance it. I've traveled the country to find the best mortgage experts in every city. You're going to hear from yours in a Mortgage Minute right now. Let's check it out.
Hi, this is Andy Tuttle with the Tuttle Group at Fairway Mortgage and the American Dream TV. Here with another Mortgage Minute. Now, I got something special for you today. I have Brian McCauley here, my top loan originator, Best ND Magazine for the last several years in a row, and he's going to tell you a little tip we think you may not know.
Appreciate you having me. One of the biggest questions that we are finding that consumers are struggling with in 2018 is, as home prices are rising, interest rates are going up, is how do I keep my cost affordable? It's the biggest topic that I cover in my mortgage planning sessions. We unpack what's most important to them, and it's about saving money. And what I find is most clients are utilizing our niche home loan product, which is a 5% down home loan product. But the biggest thing about it that people like is there's no monthly private mortgage insurance. And when you eliminate the monthly private mortgage insurance, it saves the clients hundreds of dollars, which obviously makes their monthly payment much, much cheaper and puts more money back in their pocket, which they love.
Yeah, so in a rising interest rate environment and home prices appreciating, it's a good way for them to be able to afford the same house and keep that purchasing power where they want it so they can move into that neighborhood?
Absolutely. Cost effective and puts more money back in their pocket.
Awesome. There's your Mortgage Minute for this week. Thanks so much. For more, of course, go to our website or keep tuning in to Your American Dream.
Thanks for checking out today's show. Our goal is to educate, empower, and engage your American dream. Don't forget, if you have questions or want to connect with any of our guests, visit us online at AmericanDreamNetwork.tv. Also, follow us on social media. We'd love to hear from you. If you like this positive message, please comment, share, breathe oxygen into it. We'll see you on the next show. In the meantime, cheers to your American dream.